All right, welcome back to the Google Forms video here. So I'm going to create a new Google Form. Google Form is one of my absolute favorite ones, right along with Google Slides. I use Google Forms all the time. So I'm going to go to New and go to More, hover over it, hover over to Google Forms, and I'm going to click on a new Google Form. So when you click on New Google Form, it will pop up looking like this. Let me get me out of the way here. You want to give it a title, and if you just do Lace Practice Form, and then click in there, look at that, it automatically puts it on there for you. So Google Forms work a little bit differently. If you want to share it, you're not really sharing it like you are the other ones. You're just called adding a collaborator. So that is a little different. And other than that, yeah, it kind of operates it as its own little entity here. So let's dive in. So I gave my form a title. What would you use forms for? Well, I use forms all the time. I gather information. I get to know my students. I use them as tests and quizzes just for fun. We do projects with them. The kids use them. Forms can just gather quick information about what t-shirt size kids need, to long information that will give like all their name, address, all that type of stuff too. So let's talk about this. So you see two options up here. You've got questions and responses, but we're going to start with the questions. And so when you put a question in here, you click on there, it says untitled question. What is the capital of Missouri? Miss our eye. All right, question mark. So we're going to leave it as multiple choice, but over here, you get all of your options here. Okay, you get all your options. So you can do a short answer, a paragraph, multiple choice, checkboxes. Checkboxes would be where they can check more than one option. Drop-down menu, you've probably seen a drop-down menu. Which of these? And you click on it. So linear scale, multiple choice grid box, all of those you kind of just got to get in and play with. I'm not going to take the time to show every single one. The most popular ones are these up here, to be honest. And so what is the capital of Missouri? Well, obviously it is Jefferson City. Tab, let's see, Des Moines. Or Austin. There we go. All right. So now we have our first question. But look what's popping up over here. Add image. So you can add an image either to the entire question or for each of the responses. So let's say I wanted to add an image of Jefferson City. I'm going to do a Google image search of Jefferson City. Maybe we can find a picture of the capital. Beauteous. There we go. Insert. So now when that pops up on the Google form, they'll see that image. So I'll put one in here for Des Moines, Iowa. Okay, I'm guessing that's Des Moines. Never been to Des Moines, but there we go. And we'll put one in here for Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas Capitol building. There we go. That's what I should have done with the other one. All right. So there we go. And insert. So now when they see that question, they'll have a little image there. Now I used this when I did a ballot, like the students were voting for Hall of Fame, for a Hall of Fame, Black History Month Hall of Fame. They heard all these presentations, and then I created Google Forms with the different people, and I would put their name and then the image of them there. So what does this look like? Well, I want to show you this button right here. It's called Preview. It's got the eyeball. So if you click on that, a new tab's coming up, and this is what it'll look like to the students when they take it. So for your students that work better with visual images or visual questions, you can definitely use that little feature there. Okay. So now I want to add another question. So I go down here and I'm going to add a question. Okay, now I definitely want to put, what is your name on this? But did you notice what Google did there? As soon as I typed, what are your name, it automatically changed the question. It's guessing what kind of question you want, or what type of question you want for the question you asked. So it guessed I want a short answer. Yeah, I think that's good. But wouldn't that be better to have it first? Duh, you always put your name on it first. So notice my cursor changing to the double arrows there. When I click on that, I can drag that question up here and it puts it first. So now when I go to my preview, if I hit refresh, I just hit refresh there. Oh, look at that. What is your name is first, and then it's what is the capital. All right. So let's add another question here. I want to show you some other features. I'm going to add a question. Well, let's put it before my what is the capital of Missouri. I'm okay with that. All of these automatically pop up with required on there. Okay. So if I'm going to have a question here, describe your perfect day. Okay, notice Google changed it to paragraph, and notice in here you've got the image again, so you could add an image, okay, but I didn't make it required, so they don't have to make it required in there. Okay, so that's nice. They don't have to do it. Once I go back to my preview, here's my perfect day question. Notice the little red dots. That means they're required. So if I type an answer and I pick an answer and then I would click submit, it would let me. But if I don't have an answer in there and I try to click submit, it's going to say, this is a required question. Put your name on your paper. Okay. So I don't like the purple for this one. I'm just doing random stuff. I want to change that. So I'm going to go up here to theme, customize theme, and you can make it a different color. You can make it a different font style. You can do whatever, but you can also choose the header. And since we're doing work and school stuff, although I'm kind of just doing random stuff, so let's do party. We'll do, oh, look at these party themes. So let's do some feet dancing just for fun. Insert, now watch up here. It's going to change a little bit once my computer gets going here, but it'll change some of the color themes as well. Wow, this is taking a while. It should not take this long. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. See, everybody has technical difficulties at times, but hopefully that will eventually change it. I wonder if I X out, and I'm just going to try again real quick. Customize theme. Boy, it's still trying to get that header in. Okay, we'll just let it think about it. Maybe eventually it'll pop up. But that would put a header picture up here that would just make it look a little nicer when the kids take it. Yes, I want to reload it. Okay, so yeah, so those are some of the basics. You can also insert videos here. So if you want them to watch a video and then they answer questions about it, you can add a video. So maybe after this, I'm going to click. After that, I'm going to say insert video. This video you search. I'm going to search for Capitol buildings. Maybe the 50 US. Oh, does it get any better? Okay, so now, okay, it's 50 US Capitol buildings. All right, so now I want them to watch that. Notice there's no question with it. It's just that video. Okay, well, I want the kids to know that something's changed. So I'm going to add this section. That's what this is right here, a section. So I'm going to add it, and it says untitled section. I'm going to give it a title, watch this video. But wait, oops, divide the video. It's after the video. So I'm going to move this question. Oops, grabbed the wrong one there. Here we go. I'm going to click on the video, and I'm going to move that video into section 2. Okay, so notice now that I've added another section, it's like another page. It's like turning the page on a test or a quiz or something. I get a little drop down arrow. And so what happens after we do this? Well, after section 1, just continue to next section. What does that look like on our form? Let's see here. All right, so what is your name? Blah, blah, blah. What's the capital? Remember, the 2 red ones are required. So now when I click next, remember, I don't have to do this one. Now I'm into watch this video section. And so since I didn't add anything yet, the next thing is submit. We know I would add something, but the kids could watch the video. Okay, so now in this section, I want to add a question. And what was your favorite Capitol building and why? Now I added the and why, so it went to a paragraph. Okay. All right, so now in this section, they watch this video, they tell me which one's favorite, and since I have no other sections, it will be, let me refresh. Yes, reload. I got to reload all my answers. Answer, next. So now you see the video, and now you see this, what was your favorite Capitol building and why? It's required. Once they're done with that, they can click submit, and they're done with this form. Okay, so what happens when they click submit? Well, my favorite was Texas because it was pretty. All right. And then click submit. There you go. Your response has been recorded. But, when I have the students done, I don't want them just to see that. I want them to go read their independent reading book. So up here in settings, you've got some different choices you can make. You can collect email addresses. I always leave this on in case they forget to put their name on it or I forget to put the name box on there. Response receipts. This would be the students could get a copy of their responses if they want it. Limit to 1 response so they can't do it over and over again. Show progress bar, shuffle question order, all these things. Show link to submit another response. No, I don't want them to do that. But confirmation message. Read your independent reading book now. So you give them this quiz, kids finish it at different times, and okay, so now when I click my name, when I do my things here, watch the video, notice the message has changed, read your independent reading book now. So you can give them directions on what to do next. You don't have to answer the question. You don't have to write it on the board. And kids can all go at their same pace. But notice now what's happened up here. We're going to move on to the responses part. What can you do with their answers? Where do these answers go? Well, let's take a look. Click on responses. And you notice that it's 2 responses in there, and they both came from my email address, but notice you would have all of their emails and you would have all of their names here. Here you see a graph of what they did, what they answered. Little key here, okay? You can copy that chart, put it on there. There's your data driving. And here's all your answers for this. Here's your answers for the watch the video. So that's a nice summary that it gives me. You can turn this quiz off so you're not accepting responses anymore. Like if you send them the link and then and you don't want them to take it anymore after 3 o'clock or something like that. You can see it done question by question and what the people said. So, if this was a full class, this might say 6 respondents and Billy and Susie and Jimmy and Bobby all said it was Des Moines. Okay, well, we got to talk to them about what's the capital of Missouri. So you can go through kind of question by question like that. Describe your perfect day, or you can see it by individuals. So here's all of my responses. Here's all of Billy's responses. So it lets you organize it. But notice what's up here. First, let me go through all this. So if you let's say you're at an at-home environment and you've given a test, you can get email notifications for new responses. So like if they finally do it, or if a kid's at home and they submit it, you get an email saying they did that. You can download all the responses. You can print them all. You can delete them all and start all over. This would be like if you use the same form year to year. You delete all the responses and then use the same form. But coming out of that, notice the green, create a spreadsheet. So if you click on that, it's going to ask you, do you want to create a new spreadsheet? Do you want to select an existing spreadsheet? So let's say you give a math quiz every week. And so you create a new math quiz and they do it on Google Forms. And you can just keep putting their answers into the same Google Sheet that we talked about earlier. But I'm going to just create a new spreadsheet here just to show you what happens. So it thinks and it creates and it goes through that. Oh my gosh, it's all of the answers. Holy cats. And what I love about it too is that it gives you a timestamp. When did they submit it? You tell them it has to be done by 3. They submit it at 6. Well, then you can decide what you want to do. Tells you what email sent it in because it said you want to collect those responses. Up at the top, row 1 is all of your questions. And then everything else here are all of your responses. And you've got them organized. You could sort them by anything you want. If you don't know how to sort in Google Sheets, go watch the Google Sheet video. So I love how Sheets and Forms play together so nicely and how it organizes information for you so easily. So let's see here. There we go. All right, the last thing I want to tell you is how do you get it to the kids? So you create this great form, how do you get it there? Well, remember, you'd be creating it here on the questions page, and we've got some sections, but you want to send it. Oh, let's send it. All right, so you click on send, and you've got lots of ways. You can email it to people. So you would send it to scottakerson@gmail.com and boom, I've invited you to fill it out. You can include that form in the email. So it's right there in my email. I answer the questions and boom, that way they're not clicking. You can do it as a link. So if you, I just want to Control C this link and then paste that link somewhere, maybe in a document, maybe you link it to a certain word in a Google Slides presentation where the students are watching, and then they click this link and it's a quick assessment to see if they were paying attention as to what they learned. So you can send it out through a link or an email, or if you know how to embed or you want to embed this form into a site or somewhere, you can do that as well. Google Forms, again, are awesome. There are ways to do so many things with Google Forms. There's a way to make it grade. There's a way to make it say what the right answer is. Let me actually show you that one really quick. Hopefully you've made it to this part of it. So what is my name? Okay, and so we're going to do short answer. Okay, what is my name? And so right down here, those 3 dots right by the required, something called response validation. And so Google will do, or the form will do certain things based on what you say is the right answer. Okay, so if you say text contains Scott. Okay. So that's the response validation. Now, custom error thing would be try again. Okay. So let's see what that looks like when we go to the preview. What is your name? Austin. Describe your perfect day. Billing. What is my name? So Bill. And I try again. Frank. And I try to submit, and it says, oh, try again. Notice this, Scott. Try again. Oh, remember, I did it in all caps. Scott, submit, boom, done. So you can train Google Forms to not let the kids go on to the next question until they get it right. wow, what practice that could be in kind of a new version of flashcards maybe, or just practice, practice, practice. So that's a little bit about Google Forms. Sorry, the video ran a little long, but like I said, I love it and there's so much it can do. If you have any interest in using this in other ways, I've made breakouts with them. You can make them into breakouts using that response validation. I've made choose your own adventure books with Google Forms, which is a lot of fun. Great project. So that is just a lot about Google Forms.